So my sweet mom, Clara, is back at home. By the grace of Allah, the way that everything just played out, I never knew that day when my sister called me and I went live. I just thought it was going to be something simple because she was acting normal the entire way and things just took a total different turn. By the grace of Allah, she was protected. We were able to get her there in time so there won't be any permanent damage. And that's very, very, very rare. Also, it just, I didn't grow up with my mother. I went into, the man that I thought was my father was murdered in front of my mother and I while she was pregnant with my youngest sister. And she had a nervous breakdown, and from that, she was diagnosed with schizophrenia. So she had 7 children altogether, and because they could not get her stabilized on the right medication, they took all of her children and put them in foster care because she had no family in Florida. All of her family was in Louisiana. So I always wondered throughout my life, like if something, do I have that bond with her? I knew I loved her. I knew I would lay down my life for her, but I didn't know if I had that bond that my son has with me or that bond that other children have with their mothers. But when I saw her eyes, like I saw that look in my son's eyes. I've seen that look in my father's eyes. I've seen that look in my father's killer's eyes. I've seen that look in patience and and when I saw that look in my mom's eyes, all I could do was just scream like mom, 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 and like try to get them to connect with her, like snap out of it, like do whatever you need to do to get her back. And in that moment, it's just amazing to me how Allah can take something to where you've been questioning and questioning and questioning for the longest. If that bond is there, if that love, I knew the love was there, but was it a love just out of duty, or was it a love of that's my mother, no one could ever take your place? And even though all of that time had passed by, and even though she did not raise me, that love is there. Like, I would have lost it in there. I mean, I was trying to hold it together because I saw that my sister and my niece weren't able to, but I totally went into the same mode that I went into with my son when he had his issue, which was, um, you know, fight mode. Like, I'm gonna fight. I'm going to. There's no time for tears now. I need to make sure that I'm thinking clearly so that I can do everything that needs to be done. But I was just in utter shock, and it just proved to me once again that Allah is always in control. I saw my older sister. She and I had an incident that happened, and she had previously asked for forgiveness, but like I tell people, I'm not perfect, and I just felt so disrespected by the incident that I didn't accept her apology. And there were other factors at play too, but after talking to my other sister and seeing the sincerity in her eyes and her voice and in the way that she catered to me, I accepted her apology, and I'm glad to have her back in my life, you know. So it's amazing how something so scary can unite a family. But my sweet little, she is at home, and we're going to spoil her. And because she is diabetic, it definitely has changed my plans and my goals in life. I'm still going to be a master chef, but I definitely want to branch more into medicinal food, making it so that foods that people that have to be on different diets, that it can be delicious, that it can be delectable, it can be, fine dining, but without those things, because I know she had the stroke because her blood sugar was too high. And so I definitely want to look more into that and into monitors. I know there has to be a monitor out there on the market that is constantly checking your blood sugar, so you know when it's starting to creep up and get dangerously high. My mother had a hard life. The one man that she loved was murdered right in front of her while she was pregnant. And then the system railroaded her and took her children because they wanted to adopt them off. And at the time when she was diagnosed with schizophrenia, the medication just wasn't advanced enough. And I asked my mom if she was proud of me, and she told me, she said, yes, I'm proud of you. I'm proud of all of my children. But I always have spent my life, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna buy this for my mama, I'm gonna buy that for my mom. And in that moment I realized, oh my Allah, the only thing that I'll be able to buy for my mom, if you don't work your magic, if you don't work your miracle, if you don't step in, is going to be flowers. I wanted to buy her a home and a car and a garden and assistance, and someone to cook for her, and someone to massage her, and someone to take her shopping, and someone to do her hair professionally, and someone to paint her nails, and someone to take her on walks. And it, you know if this doesn't work, if my mother doesn't make it through this, my life will never be the same. And in that moment, it changed me. And I thank Allah so much that He pulled her through. And I'm so glad that I was able to be there with my sister, Tiffany, my niece, Adriana, and my sister, Robin, and that we were able to, you know, go through this, go through some things, feel some feelings, me go a little crazy with the lip gloss, because whenever I don't have control, I try to take control of something that I can. So I start applying like chapstick or lip gloss like crazy. So, but I think we stayed pretty calm throughout the situation, and our mom handled it like a champion. And I think it's just a wake up call to us that, you know, she can't help herself. She likes to eat, she's a great cook. She wants to eat whatever's in the house. And honestly, all of that sugar, it doesn't need to even be in our house. I know in my home, there's no sugar in my home. Like, I don't do anything. Like, I don't make pastries and cakes and stuff like that. So I don't even have sugar. Every now and then I might have brown sugar, just a small amount of brown sugar or syrup for my son's pancakes or waffles or whatever. But it really makes me realize that all my entire family needs to change our eating habits, because that's crazy to know that you could die from something like that. But thank you for all of those that prayed and those that cared. I'm not famous or anything like that, but Thank you so much. Energy is everything, and uh, thank you, Allah, that you were there. You're the beneficent and the most merciful, and I thank you that you had mercy on my mother's soul.